I'm building my dream Unimog camper. Hi, my name is Victor Bart and I own this Unimog 404 with the radio shelter. I don't have rear doors, but I have double side doors and they open over 170 centimeters. And I built this kitchen and the bed. I took 3 weeks of work, so I could spend a lot of time building the Unimog. So this is how far I came. So let's take a tour and explain all the details and secrets of this build and why I think this is one of the best layouts in a radio box. And even without the extension in the rear, you can make this layout in any of the radio boxes, but then this seating will be shorter. Safety is really important, so make sure you have some device to put out the fire. And this is a 6-liter foam extinguisher. This is my trash can. Not sure if I keep it like this. I need to secure it more, but I like the little box. Here's one of the outputs of the inverter, 230 volt and two 12 volt sockets for an external shower or something. I think it's really important and practical to have running water in your camper. So I have a 130 liter water tank, 35 liter wastewater tank under the body, and behind here I put a SureFlow water pump. And to cook, I have an induction cooktop from IKEA, connected to two power sockets directly on the inverter. Here 4 USB ports, one of those is USB-C, so enough charging ports in the kitchen. Here I made a nice cabinet with a push lock. My friend Antal sent me to, so thank you. As you can see, I have a lot of rounded shapes in the camper, and I think the rounded shape is a perfect shape in a camper because it's a really pleasant shape. If this corner was like sharp, it would be not so nice to go around this corner if you step into the Unimog. But now with the rounded shape, it's really easy to go around this corner. And also this side corner is rounded, and this is the same wood as the walls. So I'm gonna varnish it and it will look really cool. And the way how I made this shape is you can buy a pre-made rounded wood, and you buy it here in the Netherlands as like 2.5 meter pieces. It's like 80 euros a piece, and yeah, it's just, look, it's just amazing to have shapes and different angles and thicknesses. This is like 12 millimeter because I want to have a lightweight camper. So look around if you can find this in your country, because it makes an amazing shape and super easy to work with because it's just wood. You can shape it and it's the same wood as the wall, so it will look amazing. So no need to put extra layers over it. Yeah, love it. When I found this, it snapped in my head. Yes, I want to use this in the camper, and also the shapes around the windows are made with this. Yeah, it's just amazing. Also, drawers are very important. It's easy to open, also with the push lock here, and this will be for forks and knives and kitchen utensils. And I just realized if I open this and I put some extra top over it, I might have the perfect little extendable table. Maybe I should turn this into like a little table. Yeah, sometimes ideas just come in. And the drawer is on very solid drawer slides. And this is my Waco fridge. And if you buy it new, it's like 1,300 euros. It's made for Volvo F8 trucks, so big rigs, and it runs on 12 and 24 volt. And the camper itself is 12 volt, but the Unimog is 24 volt. And the nice thing about this one, I bought it used for 175 euros from a trucker that got a new truck in his company and couldn't fit this in his truck. But normally the compressor on this fridge is hanging from the rear. So it becomes very deep unit. But that doesn't fit in this style of box, because it's a small box. The inside space is 3 meter 40 long and 193 centimeters wide. And the standing height, I don't have it. That's the only disadvantage of this box. So this is, I'm not sure with my new installed roof, so let's measure it right now. So right now I have 138 centimeters standing height. But I don't think it's a problem. I made everything really low, spacious. I made a little stool to put in front of the kitchen, so I'm also not that tall, so that works for me. But for others this is too low. And I have seen a Unimog where they put the roof higher, but then from the outside it doesn't look that great. What I have done is I took off the compressor with aluminium lines, so very fragile, and I moved it around and I managed it to get it under it, and then I made an aluminium frame to put it on, so now it's a higher unit but with the compressor under it. And under the fridge I had some space left because of the aluminium framing, so I made this cover with like a little sliding lock, and now I have extra storage space which is like 28 centimeters deep. Perfect to store some random things, because you can't have enough storage. But on the other side I also don't want to have too much storage, because if you have too much storage you take too much stuff with you. And here you can see the output of the diesel heater, and I put it on this side. You don't want to have the output of your diesel heater directly blowing on your feet or too close to your bed, because it's really warm air. So this is a small box, so I put it as far as possible from where you live in it. So that's why I put it here. It's also almost on top of the diesel tank. It's directly pulling out of the diesel tank, so that makes it practical. So no inside diesel tanks in the camper. That's the worst idea ever, because if you drop a few drops of diesel in your camper you will smell it the whole day. So if you open this closet, then the bottom of this closet, you can lift it out really easy. So, and under here is the diesel heater. And if you want to do maintenance on it, you can take out these panels here. You can take out this side panel and the big side panel, and then you can work on the diesel heater and remove it. And if I would like build in the diesel heater and then build the kitchen and didn't make removable panels, you can never service your diesel heater if you want to. And this is a diesel heater from Eberspacher from 1999, and I bought it for 100 euros. And it works perfectly. It directly blows warm air. It's perfect, but it's an old unit, so it can always give problems. So serviceability is a high point in my design process, that I made it like that you can remove things. And yes, now you see the screws, but I don't mind seeing the screws in my build. That's one of the decisions I took, that I don't mind to see screws. It's a total thing and not like the details of the screws. And I'm not a woodworker. Maybe I am if I see what I have built, but it's still hobby. And I never built a kitchen like this before, and I never worked with the rounded shapes. So it's for me a first time. Also installing these locks, that was for the first time. This one is not so perfect, but it works. But this one is perfect. So yeah, it's always, you need to figure out how you can make things. And that's the enjoyment of building your own camper. Under here is a 130 liter fresh water tank. and I put it as much as possible forward to keep the weight in balance, to have like 50-50 weight distribution. And if I would put it like in the rear, then I would overload the rear axle and then it doesn't drive as well. It's really important that you can service your water tank and have access to it. So what I have done is, this is a shelf where I put pots and kitchen stuff, and it looks like really solid, but you can easily lift it out and remove it, and in the rear it locks in place with these steps. And after that you take out this floor, and here you can see the tabs where it locks into between here, so it's really sturdy. And you do this in like 5 seconds, and now you have full access to the water tank. So here's the service hole, and you can check the connections. But what if I need to remove the whole water tank? The top of the kitchen is not screwed down. It's like clamped in the design. So you can easily lift out the whole kitchen top. The cables are long enough that you can put it on the side, and then you have full access to the water tank. And also this panel can be removed for more access. Then you can just take out the whole water tank, fix leaks, clean it, maintain it, and put it back. So this is my control panel and my radio. This is a Fusion Marine MS-RA55 radio. I think they disconnected this unit. They have a replacement. I will put like Amazon affiliated links down in the description to check things like this out and other things that I show you. And this radio is really nice because it has Bluetooth. It connects to your phone, so you can play music over your phone, over your radio to your speakers. It has AM, FM radio. It has an aux input, so if you have a laptop you can use an audio cable. It's very small. It has built-in amplifier, everything, and nice interface, super simple, really works well, and it's amazing. And if you disconnect the power of this unit, it keeps its settings. Fusion Marine radios are not cheap. They are really good, but not cheap. I think this unit was around 200 euros, but when I wanted to buy it, I couldn't find the single unit, so I had to buy the set with speakers. They are pretty decent speakers, waterproof, because this is a marine radio, and I will put that marine grade speakers in the cap of the Unimog later someday. And not sure which radio, maybe another Fusion Marine radio, I will see. Under here I have the Phoenix control panel of the Victron inverter, the water meter, and as you can see it's almost empty, the tank. I only put a few liters in it for testing. A voltmeter, here's a switch panel, this is for the water pump. I think this is a fridge. And as you can see, I have all the lights in the switches on and this display. In the night that would like light up the whole camper. So what I'm gonna do is make an extra switch, probably somewhere here, that just turn off the lights and this display and everything that makes a light. So in the night you can take it off, but still put it on to show off that you have lights in your switches. And this switch panel was pretty hard to find the right one, because switch panels are really expensive with built-in fusers and all that crap, and I didn't want that. I just want to have simple switches, on off, a light optional, and with like connectors that you can slide on. So I found this unit, but it had all the fuses, the glass fuses, and I didn't want to deal with it. So what I did is just remove the fuses, slim it down and screwed it in here and just wired it myself. And the fuse box of the kitchen area, that is behind here. So if I remove this, I can easily switch out the fuses. There is also a big fuse for protecting the wiring, and I have a lot of fuses in my Unimog, and I think that's really important to protect all your cables with fuses. And I really like real fuses and not resettable fuses, because if you have a problem when a fuse goes out, you first need to fix the problem and not reset it. And just make sure this radio, for example, needs a 10 amp fuse. The water pump needs a 7.5 amp fuse. Just make sure you have the right fuse for the device, and then it will only pop if you have a problem in your system or a cable that is defective. And if a fuse pops because overload, you have a serious design fault in your system. So make sure you have enough fuses, the right cables. It's pretty complicated when you start it, but get the cabling and the fuses and the electric system right, because then you have a system without any problems. And I think I only popped one fuse when I made like a short in a cable when building stuff. So yeah, my system is designed that it is just working. I designed a seating area for a height of 40 centimeters, and right now the platform is 36 centimeters, so I'm probably gonna get a 5 centimeter cushion or pillow, not sure the right word for it. So it will be like 41 centimeters, but when you sit down it will be a little bit lower. And the depth of the seating is now 56 centimeters. But I want to make a back pillow that is like sloped, that you sit relaxed. So probably the seating will also be like 45 centimeters deep. And not sure how wide this is. I just built it, so let's check it. Okay, it's 140 centimeters wide, so it's easy to sit here with two persons. So from here to the front is the water tank. This is just a storage box, also with the cabling from this control panel. I will show you that in detail. So I need to make extra walls to protect that. And under here, that's really important, I think, that's your own toilet. And I need to treat this, and this is like an early design. So under here is my Kiltwick composting toilet. So now you can just do your thing. And here's a toilet roll holder with a room for more rolls under it. And this box here is for the wood dust. I use this toilet and I really like it. The trick of the composting toilet is this separator. So the fluids goes in the front to a separate tank, and the solid stuff goes in a bucket in the rear. And if you don't mix it, it doesn't smell that terrible. And there's also a fan here in the rear with a hose to the outside that always spins, and then you don't smell anything. And when you're done on the toilet, you take some wood dust from this bin here, you put it on, and then just close the box, close this lid, and then your toilet is hidden away. And I really enjoy having this toilet, because if you are on an event or a festival, you don't have to go to Dixie's. Perfect! This is my other control panel. This is the main 12 volt switch to turn everything off. This switch is for the solar panel. This is the diesel heater control. And the nice thing about to put the controls here instead of by the diesel heater is I can reach this button out of my bed, crawled in my sleeping bag. So if I wake up and it's way too cold in my Unimog, I just put my arm outside of my bed, switch it to like position 1 or 2 and have it warm up the Unimog. And if I put it on 4, it's like warm in 10 minutes. So here extra USBs, so that makes it like now 6 USBs in the camper. And also an extra 12 volt socket. And here a switch to put on the fan that cools the solar controller, and here an extra switch without a function yet. So in this box you see the cooling fans for the electric system. This is the main cooling if the inverter is on, the solar panel cooler and the DC-DC converter cooler. And the air intake for these fans is this slot here on the side. Let's talk about the bed. The bed length is 193 centimeters, so you sleep sidewise. And the width of the bed is 130 centimeters. So it's good for two not too big people. So I think this is a perfect size for a bed. The whole camper is made for two people. So that's why you need like a bed this size. And if you want to have a bigger bed, of course you can make less of seating area and make it wider, but I think 130 centimeters is good for what I want to do. And I see a lot of people using IKEA bed slats, and I don't really have the room for a system like that. So what I took is like the only 18 millimeter wood in this camper, because the most wood is like, the walls are like 6 millimeters and some structural stuff is 12 millimeter, but the bed's bottom plate is 18 millimeter just to have it the right strength. My previous bed in my test setup was 9 millimeters, and I was like sitting with a knee on the bed and I heard it cracking. So you need to have a sturdy bed. When you sleep in your camper bed, your body always put out moisture, and that will get under your mattress. And if you don't have air holes or something under your mattress, you get mold and other stuff that you don't want to have. So what I have done is I drilled some holes. 247 holes exactly. That was a lot of work. And every hole is perfectly aligned, 10 centimeter each, and way too much work. But I think the result is great, and no mold under the mattress. And also you have windows on both sides that can open. So when you wake up, put the windows open, have some airflow, and get rid of all the extra moisture of sleeping. Here we have my subwoofer, and to be honest, I'm not sure yet where I'm gonna place it. But I will place it because it's fun, and I also built this myself with an 8-inch speaker in it. The bed is fixed, but I still made it like compartments so you can take out panels. So it looks like that I'm like sitting in a bed that you can swap around, but that's not the case. In this area I will make a big drawer with big drawer slides, like a heavy duty stuff, and that will be perfect. It's like 60 centimeters deep, 70 centimeters wide. Here I have my Victron inverter on this side, and people say, oh, it's wrong and bad cooling and blah 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 blah. It's perfectly fine. And to service it and also maintain the airflow, I made this panel so you can take it out and then you can open it and check stuff. And I removed the top plate so it doesn't block the cooling. Here's also a 12 centimeter server fan that is switched on the relay of the inverter. Here's an air outtake that goes to here. So this is like a perfect wind tunnel for my inverter. In the rear I made this big shelf, and the function of this shelf is storage for clothes and stuff like that. Probably gonna put a net in front of it or something like that, that it doesn't fall out when you break. And under the shelf I made 2 speakers, and the speakers are like 20 years old. I bought them for my first car, and I just made new speaker cabinets for them. They are closed cases with 8-liter volume in it with some dampening stuff, and they really sound great. even without the subwoofer you can really feel the bass, and it's just nice to have good speakers in it. They are directly on the radio and it works perfectly. So here I made like a little shelf with some cabling under it, and just to put like your phone in the night and stuff like that. And in this corner I have two 230 volt power sockets, and also another switch for an inverter, because I run two inverters. The big one, this is 1600 watts, 2000 VA. And under here there's a smaller one, the 375 VA, that's connected to this two outputs. So if I want to charge a laptop or something simple, I only have to put on the little inverter, and I already owned it, so I was thinking, let's build it in. But the inverter, you can plug the cable to another socket for the outside power. So you can route the outside power also to these two sockets. And also here, you can't see it from there, 4 extra USBs. One of those are even USB-C. So in total in this box I have 10 USB ports. 4 in the front, 4 in the rear, 2 in the middle. What else do you need? And right now you see one light bar that is just a work light. It's just an LED 230 volt light bar. But I'm gonna make LED strips in the camper. And also RGB LED strips. But more on that later, because yeah, they will be crazy. But let's talk about the serious RGB stuff. The lighting of the camper. So here you have the roof hatches. So that will lower down a little bit. I still need to make the plating over it. And what you then have in the box is like sections, 3 sections. And you also have 3 sections in the camper. Bed, seating, kitchen. So what I'm gonna do in between the roof hatches, like make 2 strips here, in the middle and in the front, and have 3 segments of LED lights. And I will use warm white like Kelvin 3000. This is daylight, but I think the warm colors are great also when you camp on a nice spot, and it is just better to have some warmer light instead of like really daylight stuff. So LED strips here, and the RGB LED strips will be somewhere here with moving colors and programmables like as party mode. Under here's the electric installation. All the components are Victron, but the batteries are AO lithium. And I really like the AO lithium batteries, and the whole system is just perfect. Here all the fuses for all the things that I connected. The main fuse, the shunt, the smaller fuse box. Also fuses for the 230 volt side, the extra inverter, the battery charger. Here's a solar controller, DC-DC. So I have some extra room here. Probably I'm gonna put the amplifier for the subwoofer somewhere here. I already put the cables in, but not sure yet because I just built on the go. Oh, and this cable is also important. It has 13 cables. And this will be for all the LEDs that go in the roof, because I still need to design that and cable that. The walls are varnished Okume, but the wood on the roof, that is mahogany, and look at this print. It's just amazing. And this wood here that you see, the plates are 40 years old. And they were bought by my grandfather for his wood workshop, and he never used it. This is the original hole where an antenna can be installed, so I was thinking, yeah, let's put an original detail back in the Unimog. And this hole that is always open for airflow, and I'm gonna put a computer fan here in from Noctua, probably with some speed control, and probably switch it on this panel. And that's right above my cooker, so that will be the kitchen exhaust fan. So what do you think about my layout and my design choices? I think personally this is the best layout for a box like this. But yeah, I built it, so yes, this is my design. But the nice thing about this design is, for example, all the rounded corners. It's just so pleasant. It just is amazing. And the line starts here, flows around the seating and around the kitchen. And when all is varnished, it will look amazing. And maybe you noticed the lack of the color white. I really hate the color white. It's just so, yeah, in Dutch we say kill. So cold, so soulless, so lifeless, so German. Yeah, German builders make perfect products, but no soul, no gezelligheid. Yeah, that's a Dutch word without any translation. Yeah, Google it, gezelligheid. So that's why I choose the wood, because I like wood, it's nice to work with. And this color is the same color as we had in the boat when I was a kid. So for me that brings out memories. And also when I was building the whole camper and the woodwork, I was looking at the prints on the wood and seeing, okay, this side has a nice print, nice lines. For example, here is a nice line all over the panel. I like that. That is attention to detail. Also this side panel, it has like a drawing here in the wood. And I really took this piece to put it on this side, to have this drawing here. And also the roof has nice, yeah, it's just amazing, so natural, so the lines are, yeah, perfect. And what I also like about the layout, that it is completely open, no extra walls, not too high of a kitchen. Also the seating height on the bed is that you can sit over the whole bed. So if you are with two persons, you also want to have some personal space. So for example, when I'm sitting here or cooking or on the little stool or in this area, or for example, I think it's also nice to sit in this corner with the laptop here and just chill. And there will be a table here, but sometimes you don't want to have that in the middle, so you can put it away and just sit here with your laptop. But other person can sit on the bed in like the opposite corner, reading a book, playing games on the tablet or on working on the laptop, and then you still have some personal space around you and be in a small box. But if you need to go to the toilet here, yeah, the personal space is completely gone. So if you travel together in this Unimog and you don't want to go outside if the other person wants to go to the toilet, you need to be a bit close to each other. But you don't have really space to make a whole box only for the toilet. So yeah, this is my compromise, but I don't mind it. And I also want to travel solo in this Unimog, and then it doesn't matter. I really enjoy reading your feedback, so tell me what you like about this camper and tell me what you would do different in this camper. If I would have this space with standing height in a box like this, the only thing what I would do different is maybe the bed a little bit higher to have a bit more storage under it. But then you have like an upper row with cabinets. But here I don't have room for it, so I don't have to make them. And I think I have storage enough. Probably when I'm gonna travel, I don't think that I still have storage enough. But also the front wall here, I don't have a plan yet what I'm gonna put there. Maybe some shelving, some I don't know. I put like here a storage box, but yeah, I will see that in the future how it evolves. So if you'd like to support this build, you can check out my Coffee page for making a donation or make a PayPal donation, or use my Amazon affiliated links to some products that I used. And thanks for watching.